Welcome back to International Scale Modeler. I'm Lee. In this month's news show, first of all, I've got to apologise for it being a week late. Paul and I have had many things to do in the last 2 to 3 weeks. We just haven't had time to get any videos out. All the stuff we've put out on the website has been pre-recorded quite a while ago, so we have a little stock of them. Also, I'd like to apologise if I do stumble or mumble or anything like this. It was my nephew's stag night last night, and I'm feeling a little bit worse for wear today, so you'll have to bear with us. But with the news show, also another bit of little news. There may not be a new show next month whatsoever. Two reasons. One is, obviously, as everyone knows, Paul is expecting his first child in the next couple of weeks. Not long now, mate. Your life is going to change. And also, I'll be in the middle of the process of moving countries. I'm moving to Menorca, which I think a lot of you know. We're still going to carry on everything. Nothing's going to change, really. It's just that I'll be broadcasting from by the side of a pool instead of inside my sheds. Yeah, so next month's going to be a really hectic month, and I doubt if we'll get time to get a new show out. What we are going to do is try and get as many videos done in the next week or so that there is plenty to put out in the next 8 weeks or so, because we just don't know when we're going to have time. Anything could happen for the pair of us at any point. So please bear with us over the next couple of months. It's going to be very busy, and then we've got Telford in November as well and things like that. So we've got to organise all that as well. But so bear with us. But coming up in this month's news show, we've got the forum updates, including GBs and SiGs. We've got one starting, one finishing. I think we've got a couple of starting, I think. Mine and Paul's current build updates. Prize draw winners announced. There's no news report again this month. It's just not enough time. There will be a special coming up before Christmas of the news report, and some popular characters may make a return as well, if I'm getting back off the kids, that is. The reviews, there's only a couple of reviews this month. Paul's got a short one on a Mac valve for airbrushes. I'm going to do one on some F clamps that was recommended to me by one of our members, which I found extremely handy. And obviously the upcoming reviews for September and everything. So without further ado, let's get on with the news show. Right, well, first off, we're going to start off with my ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, thanks to Norm Lajoie. I think I've got your name right, I hope so, mate. But Norm, Schweinhorn2227, has very graciously nominated me. Now, I have done it already. Here's a quick photo just to prove that I have done it already, and my wife smashed my head with the bucket, which was absolutely wonderful, so I'm going to do it myself this time. Now, I said I'd do it again. Obviously, this is a good cause. Now, I've already donated to ALS, so I'm not going to do another one. I'm going to do it to a charity of my choice, which is Help for Heroes, which I do a lot of charity work for with our companies. Everything, we donate quite a bit of money to Help for Heroes, so I'm going to go for them. And the people that I nominate for my ALS challenge will be able to do exactly the same thing. It's just, I think I'm going to call it the Ice Bucket Challenge this time, not just the ALS one. I mean, we've had some news and things like that come out about it, but thanks, Norm. And just for you, I'm going to do it again. So we'll quickly roll tape, have a look at this, and here you go. Right, well, this is my second Ice Bucket Challenge. Unfortunately, I can't put any ice in the bucket because it's sold out everywhere. I mean, absolutely everywhere. And my wife forgot to fill up the ice cube trays. So there's no ice in there, so it's a cold water bucket challenge. I'm not going to donate to ALS because I've already done one, obviously, as I've already showed you. So I'm going to donate to Help for Heroes this time. Before I start, the nominations that I have are Paul Bretland. You've escaped this so far, mate. You need to do this. We've got Gary Bottoms, Making Models again. You need to do this as well, mate. And Ben Neal to Guppy to say thank you for his hard work on the as a forum moderator on the GBs and SiGs and everything, and the farewell. Thank you, mate. So without further ado, here is my second Ice Bucket Challenge. It's still very cold. Here we go. Oh, that's actually quite refreshing. Okay, well, there you go. That's my second Ice Bucket Challenge. I'm not doing any more, so no one nominate me again. I've had about 6 nominations now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to nominate Paul Bretland, because Paul, you've got through this reasonably unscathed, mate, so it's about time you took one for the team. Gary Bottoms, I definitely think you should do one, Gary. I think you look great, absolutely soaked. And Ben Neal, aka the Guppy, you need a farewell, because Ben's actually leaving us on the forum. We're staying on the forum, but he just hasn't got the time to carry on as a moderator for the GBs and SiGs. So it's a farewell thank you to you, Ben. You can do the challenge for us, mate. And again, same with everyone. If you've already done it, then I want you to do it again, please. Thanks a lot. So again, cheers, Norm. You're a brick, mate. Right, we're going to go through the GBs and SiGs now for ISM. We've got a few this month, so I'm going to read from my notes on this so I don't forget any. First of all, we've got a thread running at the moment in the GB section that, to suggest GBs and SiGs for next year. Now, next year we're not going to do the long-term GBs because it doesn't seem to be quite the interest that we'd hoped for those. So we're just going to run 3 main ISM GBs and 4 SiGs, and then that'll leave some room for a couple of member-generated SiGs that we can put under the ISM banner. We've done a couple this year, and we'll expect to do a couple next year. So we're looking forward to that. We've got a thread going on there. So if you've got any suggestions for any GBs or SiGs that you'd like to see or take part in or see started up, put them on that thread. We're going to close the thread at the end of the month, and then we'll have a whole list of GBs and SiGs to pick from, and we'll pick the top 8 or something of those, then we'll whittle them down, and then we can pick the top 3 or 4 from each of those. So we'll have a couple of months worth of voting on that, so everyone gets a choice in what we have to build next year. So I'm looking forward to see what we've got. Some smashing ideas so far. We've got lots of ideas to put out there, and you know, so if you want to take part in that and have your say, then please pop onto the thread and put down your suggestions. Now, the GBs and threads for this month, we've got a new one starting this month, which is the one I've been looking forward to actually for most of the year, which is the Vietnam GB. Now that starts on the 19th of September and runs to the 31st of December, so nearly 4 months. And that's basically anything from the Vietnam theatre. You know, can either be, there's not a lot the Vietnamese army had, but it can be anything that took part in the Vietnam War by hook or by crook. You know, there's a lot of sideline stuff as well. So the sponsors will be Models I Go for that. Obviously, prizes to be announced in the next week or so. What we've got, I've just got to have a chat to John and see what he's going to donate for us for the prizes on that. We've got running at the moment, we've got the Shout for Doom, which started on the 1st of August, and that goes on to the 31st of December. That's our long-term group build. This will be the last one, sponsored by UMP. And that's basically the Shout of Doom or Shout Queen long-term GB. Told you I'm hungover. Basically, you got the only rule of that is that your model's got to be started by at least 25%. It's one of those ones where you throw it and you've done some work on it, you've lost your mojo on it, and put it in a box or on a shelf or something to get back to you later. So we're giving you an opportunity to finish those in a competition environment, which is great. So we've also got the World War I Centenary SiG, which has about 4 weeks left. Finishes on the 10th of October. Sponsored by S&M stuff. So the reveal show will be on that next month, I think. We've got the D-Day anniversary, which finishes on the 12th of this month, which from when this show goes up should be a week left on that. So if you've got anything in there, please hurry up, get that finished. I'm not going to have time to do my Spitfire on that. As I say, it's been extremely busy this month, so it's a bit of a shame. But that's again sponsored by Models I Go, and we've got some nice prizes for that. We've got, I think, first prize is the Eduard BF 11G2, which is a nice kit. Second prize is a flying boxcar from Metallary, and the third prize is the Tamiya Grumman Wildcat. So some nice prizes there for everyone as well. We've also got, I'll tell you what, a few going this month. We've got the reveal show for the Dangerous Cat SiG, which is now finished, which was hosted by Shoof and Hollywood Modelling. Thanks guys for doing that. Looks proved to be a great one. That was a really good SiG, and again I did mine. You'll see in my build thing that I've got so far, and just the last 2 weeks I just couldn't get it finished, so it's a bit of a shame really, but I wasn't that far away from the mark. But unfortunately I'm not going to have my thing in the roll tape again. But I'm just waiting for the winner announcement from Hollywood Modelling. Is going to give us that, and then I'll do a reveal show for it, and we'll slot his winners announcement in there as well. So come on with that, Hendrik, that'd be cool. Now I think that's it at the moment. All the GBs and SiGs obviously can be downloaded in PDF format from the site here to give you an idea what's going on, and obviously we'll have next year's one up there once all the votes have been in on everything for that as well, which we're going to open up very, very soon indeed. But it helps you to plan your builds throughout the year, and what if you want to get some models in and things like that. So so next we're going to go, so that's all the GBs and SiGs. I think next we're going to go to a review from Paul of this Mac valve for airbrushes. So here you go.
Hi everyone, Paul at ISM, another review for you today. Today we're going to review the Hardestein-Beck FPC valve, which is their fine pressure control valve. This is Hardestein-Beck's version of the Mac valve, like it's fitted to the iWatters. If you've got an iWatter or you saw the review of my HPC8 last month, you'll notice a little control valve at the front. Basically you can adjust that to go from full air pressure down to, next to nothing. And what that does, that saves you bend up and down to the compressor. You can literally do it on the airbrush there, and then you can really microfine adjust it to the pressure you want. Obviously there's no visual reference to your pressures, you can't see exactly what PSI you're at, but you've got the visual, you can hear the difference in spray pressure as well, and obviously you can physically see on what you're spraying. So if you're coming in close or a bit of pre-shade, you can drop your pressure down and then 2 seconds later just turn straight back up for full blast. It's just a quick, convenient way of doing it. If we go to the overhead camera, you can see what we've got. So we've got my Infinity CR Plus there with the standard valve in, and we've got the FPC valve here in typical Hardestein-Beck packaging. A little bit of information on the back. You've got the valve FPC Complete CR Plus, because mine's a CR Plus. Fine pressure control, chrome, just with approximately 20 to 100% pressure, so you can go all the way down to just 20% of normal pressure, and that'll give you a real fine control. Now obviously there's 2 different versions. You've got the non-CR, which is a standard, I think it's nickel finish airbrush, and then the CR Plus, the chrome finish. So you need to just judge which one you've got, because it will look slightly different if you put a chrome on a nickel one, etc. I think that there's a nickel, bit of a brain fart there, I think it is. The standard one I believe is about $29.99. the CR Plus is a couple of pounds dearer, I think it's about $32.99. I got this from air-craft.net, as I get all my airbrushing stuff from, because Martin is superb. As you all know, I sing Martin's praises all day long because it's nothing but top-notch service. So, to fit, there's no instructions with it. It's literally common sense that you unscrew this one off and screw this one on. So we'll open it up and we'll have a little look. Unceremoniously open it up. So I'm assuming it just screws straight on. You can see it's a bit of a chunkier valve to the standard one, so it looks a bit more substantial. I'll take off my quick release and the standard valve as well. Obviously keep that safe, because you never know if you want to retrofit it and go back. I'm just going to wing it and screw it in, so I assume you just screw it all the way in. There is slotted for a spanner just there, so let me make sure the valve works, which it does. So we're going to put it in. We're not going to apply an absolute shed ton of pressure because it doesn't need it. Make sure it adjusts, which it does. Pop our quick release on, and there we go, job done. 2 minutes to fit. Looks the part. It feels a lot better to hold because this is a bit chunkier. Really does give the airbrush a nicer feel, because you've got your thumb and fingers here. It seems to give it a bit more purchase to grab a hold of. If I grab my air hose, which is here on the quick release, pop it in. So I'm assuming all the way counterclockwise, or turning, yeah, it's counterclockwise, is fully on, and then I assume if I go all the way down, we get virtually nothing. Now if I can remember my camera's mic is, I'll bring it up. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's just the faintest spray. You can probably hear that now. Now whether you get any paint out of that I don't know, but you can. As you can see, you can hear the increase and decrease in air pressure, so that works phenomenally well. Really, really good. So we're at full pressure there. I actually need to make sure my compressor is switched on, which I don't think she is at the minute. She is now. So we'll let that fill. Obviously that's like 5 foot that way. I've got the long hose on. So normal usage, we keep it pressed on. You can hear the difference. We'll let the compressor fill, and then we'll have a little look. So like I say, you just need the spanner. I've got an old adjustable spanner there. Doesn't need wrenching on. If you do that, you're just going to damage it. It just needs tightening up and just a little bit of a squeeze at the end to give it a bit of purchase. Like I say, fully on. When I keep my finger on it, you should hear that air pressure drop. To almost nothing, so you got a lot of control there, hence the fine pressure control part of the name of the valve. And again, all the way back up. Superb. Now what we'll do, I'm not going to go to the spray booth because it's always best to do reviews over here for me because the light's a lot better. Probably going to white out because of that, but never mind. So what we'll do, I've got my, I use this as a wash, it's highly thin Tamiya XF1. Doesn't need thinning because it already is. So we'll pop a little bit in there and we'll give it a little spray. So full pressure, as always. I've got no spray booth, which is really naughty of me. So I'll just make sure I won't breathe. So like I say, with that you can still get really fine lines, as you can see, which the hardened Steenbeck's more than capable of. And the problem with that is if you come in pre-shading or you want to do a little bit of close-up work, you know, little dots or mottling or any regards like that, when you get closer, the power of the air is going to blast that paint. You're going to get spider legs and you get splurges of paint everywhere. So this is where it pays to lower your pressure. Now, as you can see, you can barely hear that spraying now, but I'm getting the paint coming out. And if I can do it so you can see, we did it on the bottom here. If I do some nice thin lines, you can see that, which you can. So I can literally get right in there. I know it's not the most realistic thing spraying on paper because obviously it soaks it up. But you could get right in there to model. You could add mottling, squiggles, you could do camo. A bit of a dodgy shape I've drawn there, but never mind. We'll pretend it's a potato. Not the phallic thing that I've very nearly drawn there. So you know you've got real fine pressure there. We can see how low we can get it to go. That's completely down, and yet you can still spray the pressure right down. So like I say, this paint's really highly thinned. So it's not necessarily about the thickness of the line, because at full pressure, at 24 psi, which I normally spray at, we can get these pencil thin lines. The problem being is if you're coming in close, air is going to get blasted. And you're going to get spider legs. That's fully down. If I open it all the way, so as you can hear, I can come in, right marinate the same, but as you can see there is a difference. One's darker than the other because we're getting a lot more air. As you can see, full pack. So don't think just by getting this that you're going to get thin lines, because you are, but you can do that anyway. Even at 20 odd psi, you can still get pencil thin lines off the Infinity. That's no drama, but all the way down, the lesser pressure is going to give you much more control. Excuse the person playing music outside. Bit of Annie Lennox. Now obviously because you're at a lower pressure, the paint does speckle a little bit, so it's a happy medium for what you need. Obviously we've got a bit more pressure there. Probably go lower than that. Like I say, it's just finding a happy medium you're happy with. That sounds about right to me. You can really get in there with the fine work, as you can see. Now, fully down, that's the spray pattern you're getting. So although you can still get the wider spray, you can see it is splattering a little bit. Not splattering, get a little bit of speckling, just because of the lower pressure, and then whack it straight back up. Full pressure again, and perfectly timed. We're out of paint. So there we go. Not much to talk about really. It's a fantastic bit of kit. It looks absolutely perfect. The finish is typical of Harder Steenbeck's typical quality that I know and love. These are my favourite airbrushes, especially the Infinity. I've got two of these things. I need to buy another one of these actually because I want them to match. Very simple to fit, as you saw. simple to use. Over time, I know for a fact inside here is just an O-ring that this slides around on, so you could always come back in, put a little bit of super lube on there. I'm not a fan of using this in the airbrush. I found it gums up a little bit, but for parts like moving parts, you know, that don't get any paint in, ideal, and that'll really keep that moving along nicely. So there we go. Hardy Steenbeck's fine pressure control valve, absolutely superb. Is it worth the money? Massively. Highly recommended by me, and like I say, testing it, I will buy another one of these from my other Infinity, so they're both the same. That works absolutely superb. Saves me bending up and down. My compressor's right under my bench, over the other side, underneath my spray booth. So to go down pressure, I've got to literally back up the chair, look underneath, try and set it right, then sit up, spray, check it again, go back down. So doing this, you might not know, there's no visual reference of what pressure at, but you can judge it by your paint. You can sit there on a bit of paper or scrap card and fine tune it and think, right, that's perfect for pre-shading, that's perfect for mottling, that's perfect for post-shading, you know, a bit of bleaching effects, so you can really sit there and fine tune it to your own needs. So there we go. As I say, go check out air-craft.net, go see Martin for any airbrushing needs. He's got everything on that side for airbrushing, all the airbrushes, all the accessories, all the tools. You need it for airbrushing, Martin's got it. And like I say, highly recommended by me. So if you've got an Infinity, I think it fits Evolution fine as well. In fact, I know it does, and I'm pretty sure it also fits the Ultra as well. So if you've got any of those airbrushes, you can add these and add the fine pressure control valve. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later. See you soon.
Right, cheers for that, boys. That's a handy little one. I think it's a bit better than the other ones that you get, because the ones that I've got, the Mac valves that I've got, or I actually took off because I've got like these ones, and you can see it's quite long, and the Mac valve actually added an even longer stem on that, and it really got in the way all the time, so I had to take off. So I quite like the look of that one where it's on around the thing. It seems a lot better, a lot easier to use as well. So so thanks, Paul, for that. Obviously, back to the forum. Our kit review section is growing. We've got nearly 450 videos now of kit reviews and things like that. Please keep them coming. Great job, guys. Thank you very much for those. We've got the reviews coming up for this month. Will hopefully be I'm going to do this Meng Tiger, the Russian Armoured High Mobility Vehicle, which looks like a really nice little kit. I'm going to do the F4C Vietnam War one, obviously before the Vietnam War SiG starts, to give you another choice for that. And I'm going to do the 172 Hasegawa Osprey as well, which looks like a nice kit as well. So I thought I bought that quite a while ago. That's a little bit different. So and we're probably going to be a couple more in there as well, but those three would definitely be in there. Depends on how much time we've got. So I think now we're going to go on to the monthly prize draws. Right, okay, so the free monthly prize draw. First of all, before we do the draws, can I ask that anyone who wins one of our competitions or anything like that and receives their prizes, when you receive your prize, rather than me keep sending out emails which seem to get missed by people, is of the winners, can we have a pic of you with your prize once you get it, just so we can put it on the Rose Gallery? And it's nice just to see all the winners with all their pictures, which it used to be quite religious that we had everyone throw it, and the last 6 months has kind of fallen by the wayside, but we'd love to see pictures of our members with their prizes they've won and everything. So if you are a winner of one of the prizes, even if you've won in the last 6 months and you haven't received your prize, or you've received your prize, sorry, and you haven't sent us a photo, please take one, send it in, and we can put it up on the Rose Gallery and everything for everyone to have a look at. So thank you very much for that. So we're going to go on to the prize winners. Okay, so first prize, one of the prizes is the Eduard limited edition 148 Fighting Eagles from Eduard. Now this is a cracking kit. I think Paul's done a review on it. If he hasn't, he's going to do one, I'm sure. It's a lovely kit donated by Value Kits, so thanks lots to Tim at Value Kits. And the winner of the Eduard limited edition Fighting Eagle is Scaleman. Now Scaleman comes from Sweden, I think, so well done, mate, for that. That's if you can supply me your name and address on the site, we'll get this out to you ASAP. Okay, and the second prize for the UMP set of washes and everything, another good price as well, 30 quid's worth of gear. And the winner of the full set of UMP washes is Daishi 12 from Wales, I believe. So well done, Daishi. Again, you guys, both you guys, if you send us your names and addresses by PM on the site, we'll get these prizes off in the post to you ASAP. So well done, guys. Now the prizes for this month are going to be from Value Kits. We're going to have this Mobius 155 Moon Bus from 2001, the film 2001. So that's a great prize, a bit different from the norm. It's a 50 quid kit, and it looks really different. I think it's an old mould, but with a bit of TLC and everything, it's going to be absolutely wonderful. If you're into that sort of thing, then it's a bit different. So great prize. And from us, for the second prize, we're going to do a full set of the sanders, so one of each of the packet sanders for, and again that's another 30 odd quid about the second prize. So get your names down the list. The thread's already up to put your name down for the free prize draw. Just pop on over to the site, pop your name down, say whatever you like, and you'll be in with a chance as everyone else is. So right now we're going to go and look at the F-clamp review that I did recently. I haven't put it up yet. And this is something that one of our members recommended to me, let me know about, and I can't remember who it was for the life of me, but there's a thread on the site somewhere. And I bought a couple of sets, and I've got to say I'm really, really impressed with them. So let's have a look. Right, okay, so a quick review of this mini F clamp set that was recommended to me by one of our members. I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was, and I haven't had time to have a look on the thread. But he said to try these out. Now I got these from a place called Affinity Models, which I'll flash the price up and everything. I think they're only a £5 a set, which I thought was excellent money for these. I mean, they're worth a lot more, I reckon. Clamping is quite one of those issues where there's not really any real good clamps out there. It's quite hard to find something that's going to apply pressure, but not too much pressure. You know, pegs are okay for wings and things like that. I use these, you know, these plastic tips which you can get from Wilkinson's for £1, and they're rubber tipped on here, so they're soft on the models. They're not hard, and they don't slip off as well. So they're very, very good. But you can't control the amount of pressure that you put on, so you can overdo it. And obviously, if you're using Tamiya thin, you can squeeze those joints, and then you get that line of excess or welded plastic on the outside. So it's, I mean, I've also got, you know, several sets of these burner clamps. Now these are good, but they're very fiddly. You can, if you squeeze them too tight or anything, they twist off like that. So you have to get these completely in the right position for them to work. So, but they're very handy. Again, they work on a pressure system. You push them together, and the pressure on this carbon rod is what keeps the thing together. So it's the actual pressure there, like that. So they work very well. Again, I had several sets of these, and they come with long ones. I've cut some down to small ones just so that it's a lot easier to manage than these long poles that they've got on some of them. So very handy indeed, burner clamps. But I wanted something, it's hard to find something where you have a static base and you can then clamp it to the base and look after it. Again, I've got one of those Tamiya stands that has the clips on, but the clips are far too hard. So I had a look at these and I thought, oh well, these look really good. So what I do is, it comes in a packet with how to use the clamps and everything, how to assemble them. And on there some special features which it says, like the S-clamp set is suitable for mending or assembling, blah 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 blah. Not suitable for high pressure operation, which is exactly what we want. Fix your stands with screws, don't let adhesives touch it, keep away from welders and things like that. So let's have a look inside the packet. As you can see, it's all stapled in, so it's quite safe. So we'll get everything out. Now, as you can see, you get 2 clamps for a £5, which is brilliant in itself. You get these clamps come on these plastic bases. Now that one's a little bit off centre, but no problem. Just re-stick that down. Now the really soft foam is the first thing you notice. It's very tactile, and it's quite hard without being too rigid. So it's perfect for what we would need it for. You also get a spare set, which I think is excellent. Very good indeed that you get a spare set of those. Make sure you don't lose those when you put them anywhere. You then get these 2 bases. Now this is the difference between these and the burner clamps, because these work the same as burner clamps in the fact that, you know, you have pressure, and if you apply the pressure, it doesn't move on the rod, you see. But once you unclip that pressure, you can move it up and down. So very good indeed. Now you can use them as is, like this, like the burner clamps if you want. They are a bit more stable than the burner clamps, I've got to say, and they give you a much more larger area to choose your pressure points and things like that. So I do like that. Now the bases they come with, you get 2 bases, so one for each one. Now there's 2 ways you can attach these to the base. You can take these little rubber stops off quite easily, and then you can pop them in like that. So you've got a vertical stand like so, as you can see. Very nice indeed. All very good. So, and that stands. Now you can fix these to your workbench if you want. You can have these in a certain place, like a proper clamp or something like that, on there, and put it anywhere you like. And I think, because I've bought two sets of these, so I've got 4 of them. I am actually going to, I'm not going to do it until I move abroad, but when I move abroad I'm actually going to get some little screws and I'm going to fix one of these to the bench, so I've got it always there, which is going to be quite handy, I think. So you've got that. Okay, the other way you can do it on these bases, you pop your clip it off of there, and then you pop your end caps on. This is to stop obviously the clamp sliding off, and then you've got this other little section here, and it slides on like so. So now you have a vertical one. So what you can do with this, you can have 2 or 3 of them lined up together. I think it shows it on the packet actually, but you can have 2 or 3 of them lined up so that. So if you're doing figures or maybe a ship or something like that, you can have that clamped either that way, obviously, and the other way as well. So you can have them clamped, both clamped that way. You take them out, take your end pieces off, and then you can have them both clamped obviously that way, so whichever way you want to do your holes on your ships and things like that. So very, very versatile, and I think that for a £5 you have to get these if you're a modeler and you want to keep things together. They're ideal for fuselages, for ship holes especially, and AFV, I would imagine putting the upper to the lower hole. I mean, you don't need a lot of pressure on AFVs, I've got to say, they kind of fit together quite easily, but these are definitely without a doubt a no-brainer. For a £5 for a set of 2, they're absolutely brilliant. I know it's only a short review, but these things are without a doubt a complete necessity, so I would say go out and get them if you can find them. I think they've sold out everywhere at the moment. They've proved very popular on our site, but I've got them from Infinity Models and they're absolutely excellent. So there you go, guys. That's that is the mini F clamp set. It doesn't have a name or anything like that, but that's a total recommend for me. So take care, goodbye. Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. As you can see, they are very, very useful, those things. There's a multitude of uses for them, and a couple of screws in the workbench, and you've got some permanent fixtures as well. So I think they're really handy, especially for keeping those fuselages together just right, not too much pressure. But anyway, so I think now we're going to have a little video about myself and Paul's builds. So here's mine. Let's have a look. Okay then, so where am I with my builds? I haven't done a lot this month, I have to say, not amazing amount of progress, but let's show you what I have done. First off, I'll start with this, which is the Hobby Boss S37 Burcut, which I think is one of the most fantastic looking aircraft out there. I mean, the manoeuvrability of this thing is absolutely amazing. And the size of this is a 172. Just to give you an idea, this is a 148 Spitfire next to a 172 Burcut. So you can, it's absolutely phenomenal. Can you imagine the size of this thing? This is a single-seater fighter. Can you imagine this in 148? It would be immense. It really is. I mean, that is 172 as a 148 Spitfire. So that gives you an idea on the size of it. Now, I haven't done anything to this. This was already made up, and I did this when I first got back into modelling about 4 years ago. And it isn't done very well. You know, it's a bit of a botch up, and I've filled the wrong places. But I've sorted it out a lot. I've managed to smooth out a lot of the stuff and rescribe it and all that lot. Now this is going to be my practice piece from now on, because I've got another one of these, mini hobby one, which is Hobby Boss just reboxed their one, which is a Chinese company. So this isn't even produced by Hobby Boss. I know they reboxed the other one because I got it for £3 from Telford last year, so I should do a nice version of that. But this is going to be my test piece, so I thought it was such a nice one to tell. I'll enjoy testing stuff on that, so this will be all my test bed for everything else that I've got going on at the moment. I've also got this Tamiya Spitfire, which literally took me 10 minutes to get to this level, which is basically everything in stuck. It just goes together, falls together like an absolute dream. I've finished one of these. And they are very good kits indeed. So this is going to be for the video on how to use our sanders and everything which hopefully should come out this month. And because I just want to, I don't think some people get but a few mails confused how to use a sanding system in a perfect manner and everything. So we're going to explain that. So that's that. So I have done a couple of little builds. I've also got obviously my Spitfire, Eduard Spitfire, which is not as quick as the Tamiya one. And as you can see, that hasn't really changed from the last time I did anything from the last show. I just haven't had time. I think if we just have a look, you can have a look in the cockpit, and I'm going to focus. There you go. So you can just see some of the work that I've done in the cockpit there. That's come out really nice. I'm really happy with that. And some nice, excellent detail out of the box now. If you can probably see it all up. And that's it's a cracking kit from Eduard. It doesn't fall together really easy, I've got to say. It's a bit of a work. I would say it's a little bit overcomplicated, this kit, but an absolute dream to work with and everything. You can see I've had a few little issues in that which have all been sorted, but very nice indeed. I have enjoyed that. And there's all the bits and bobs and everything. So right, the main build I have been working on, which unfortunately I didn't have time to finish, is the Tamiya Jag Panther for the Dangerous Cat SiG. Now unfortunately I haven't had time to finish this, but I am starting the weathering. I'm in a position to start the weathering now. As you can see, I've gone for this funky ambush camo scheme, which was used in 1944. I can't find the where is the original, just to give you an idea. This is the thing that I used. As you can see, you only had one profile, so the rest of it I've made up. I mean, that's as close as near as damn it as I could get it on that side, and then obviously the rest I just made up. Got it reasonably similar, but very nice indeed. The decals went on extremely well. This is all shiny now, but I'm going to start weathering it. You can see I did some practice ones underneath before I started to put it together. The exhaust, I was really chuffed. I used the Life Colour rust set for the exhaust. Now, before I put the gloss coat on, that looked absolutely wonderful. Obviously I added these grenade things to stop the grenades going in there, but those exhausts look lovely. So they're when I end up putting the matte coat in, I'm going to put a little bit of I'm going to obviously do some more work on those via some powders and things like that, and they'll come up really, really nice. But I can really recommend that Life Colour rust set. Absolutely beautiful. This has got to start having its weathering. I'm going to do the chipping next, as per Cohen's excellent guide on our site that he's been kind enough to type up ages ago, and I'm going to use that as my guide to working with this. This is again is another kit that found together. The camo pattern, obviously it's all free-handed that I've done, and then thanks to, I think it was Sebastian Schoof, he said popping these dots on with I used a slightly blunted Tamiya Q-tip, which excellent point on them, and they come out really good, and you can get more different sizes and things like that. So it's a really funky kit. You know me, I like different, so that should be nice when it all comes down. I mean, I've got all the wheels are done, not many wheels, but they're all done and glossed and ready for weathering as well. And what else was it? We've got the tools. These have come out exceptionally nice, and again I used the Life Colour wood set for those. Let's have a look, and they've come out really nice indeed. So I'm looking forward to getting them on. I'm going to leave them last and everything, so I can get all the rust pieces together on that, get all the weathering done on the thing beforehand. I've also done the tracks, which they were blacked, then an AK track wash put on, then they had our UMP rust wash put on there, and next they're going to have another rust wash that's a slightly lighter rust just here, there and everywhere, and then I'm going to put the UMP mud over the top of that as well, which seems to have worked in the past. And then obviously what I'll do, I think I'll dry brush just the edges and everything to make them look really, really good, and that will come up really nice, I'm sure. So I'm quite a way down on that one. I'm hoping to get the Spitfire in that finish before I go abroad. Whether I do or not is a completely different matter, but that's where I am at the moment. So thanks for watching, and back to the show. Right, well there you go. As you can see, I haven't really done that much this month. I think the Jag Panther I will get done before I move abroad, and hopefully the Spitfire as well. I can't take those models with me, unfortunately. I'm going to have to store them in a loft. We're going to have a locked loft in our house when we rent it out. And so all these completed builds I'm going to have to put up there. I've got loads of rubs from I breed snakes as a hobby as well, and I've got all my planes in rubs. I've got hundreds of rubs, so so that would be nice to pack away. So now we're going to go over to Paul's section of the new show and see what Paul's got to say. So here you go.
Thanks, Lee. So welcome to my little segment of the new show, my little snippet. What have we got this month? Bit of natter, bit of got a lot of SiGs and group builds ending, some starting, some completed models by me, which we'll see in a bit when we go to the bench. Forum and Facebook page are as busy as always. I'm still flabbergasted how busy the forum gets, and I'm struggling to keep up with it now. And I like to try and read everything I can on there, but some days there's just too much content to read and I end up getting a bit of a backlog. But it's a good thing, the forum's going from strength to strength. So is the Facebook page. The Facebook page has really taken off lately. Past few months it's got busier and busier. There's a few people that are either just members of the forum and not on the Facebook page, and more importantly they're just on the Facebook page but not on the forum. So if you're on the Facebook page or just a YouTube viewer, please come over to the forum, sign up, say hello. The content you see on the Facebook page, there's 10-20 times more content on the forum, and you really are missing out not being a member of the forum. I know for a lot of people I speak to about it, it's purely and simply because of time or the ease, or they're only using a mobile phone. But I go on the forum quite a lot on my phone to check stuff, obviously because it's my forum with Lee. And I do use the phone. It might not be the best, but you can still use it. It's definitely still viewable on a phone. But like I say, you're missing out being a member. So if you're not, come on over, say hello, join up, and join in on there as well. And like I say, vice versa. If you're not a member of the Facebook page, just come over, like us, and you'll see, there's quite a bit of content on there as well. What I'll tend to do is if I post an update on a build thread or a video on ISM, I'll also put some pictures on Facebook as well. Just try and draw people across the forum. So, like I say, come and have a look, see if you like it. That's all you've got to do is try it. Reviews this month off me. There's going to be none off myself, not so far anyway. I do have a kit on the way to me. It's not a new kit and it's no longer available, but it's quite special that I might review if I get time this month, which leads me on to the next thing. I was reading off my notes, which is my baby's due, well not mine, I might look pregnant but I'm not. My little lad's due 24th of September, so basically any time now. So that's kind of putting a hold on everything. I'm still modelling away, still battling through builds, which you'll see in a bit. I'm trying to get videos done, which is proving quite difficult at the minute. But he's due at the end of the month, so that's kind of got a hold of me at the minute and keeping me on tenterhooks, should I say. Leads on to the next thing, Corsair and F15 videos. There's one more part left on the Corsair, one more. You'll see where it's at in a minute. It's on the shelf right behind me, decaled, ready for weathering. So one more part of that, and that's done and dusted, out of the way, gone after a year, thank God. Enjoy building, but it has dragged on for a long time. The F15, there's not been an F15 video for quite a while now. It's well over a month. I need to get this Corsair video out of the way, which I plan to do over the next couple of days. Get that sent off to e-models, that's that done. And then I'm going to concentrate on the F15 videos as well. I did try and plan and get them all done before the baby was born, but I'm not going to try and do them. I'm not going to rush the F15 for the sake of that. So I'll get an F15 video up probably over the next week, 10 days, and then we'll get the other one up afterwards, if I'm still in the world of living, not like a zombie by then. And that's that. So there are those builds. My current builds are still undergoing. Like I said, I've got a couple completed, new one started, a couple on hold, well one on hold and one still in progress. We'll get to that in a little bit when we go to the bench. With regard to the builds, my Curse GB just ended. I think it was the 23rd it ended last month. I didn't get my planned diorama finish, but I did get the originally planned aircraft finish, so I did still get to enter it, thank God. With the Shelf of Doom GBs just started. I've got my photo etch King Tiger, if you've seen that before. It's there on the shelf, but I've got no mojo on it whatsoever at the minute, so that's just going to sit there for a little bit. The D-Day GB is coming to an end on the 12th. Again, my entry's in the drawer, my Mustang. The Tommy 132nd, that's not going to get done. I just ran out of mojo on that as well. 132s. I'm really burnt out on them, and so that's going to stay there as well. The Vietnam GB starts on the 19th of September. That's one I'm looking forward to, and I will hopefully definitely be entering. I'm going to build Tamiya's 148 Sky Raider and Trumpeter's 148 Dragonfly, that new kit just out that Lee reviewed not long ago. I've got a couple of figures, planned a little Dio base, and I'm looking forward to that one. Itching to get started on that. Sebastian and Hendrik, Dutch Modelling and Hollywood Modelling's Panther Sig has just ended. Ooh, I think it was a Sunday gone? Yeah, Sunday just gone. I entered that with a Cybobby White Box Panther D reconnaissance vehicle, which I'll show you completed in a bit. Fully enjoyed that build, excellent sig, some stunning entries in there, it's absolutely phenomenal work. Cohen's, wow, Cohen's Panther with the night vision on, awesome job, but he knocked that thing out of the park, absolutely fantastic. So many good entries in there, I'm having trouble remembering them now, to be honest, but I've looked, and obviously because I'm not judging, yay, for once, it's a nice relaxing thing to take a part in, which is nice. So that was great, well done Seb and Hendrik, well done on that. Was a very, very popular sig, and I'm glad to have taken part in it as well, which is great. Something I've been doing an awful lot of lately, throughout the day and overnight when I've been modelling away, rather than sitting here by myself listening to music or watching videos. We've been doing a lot of Google Plus Hangouts, we've been doing them for months. Sebastian, Dutch Modelling, started them with our group probably 2-3 months ago, and he's been doing the Friday nights, I started doing the Saturdays, then we started creeping in doing a Sunday night, then we do a bank holiday, and then every now and then we do a week one, and for the past nearly 3 weeks, it's been every day, even some in the mid-afternoon, running all day through to the night. And basically, you know, some of the hangouts are a bit more formal than ours, where there's people, you know, they're all not quiet, they're all restrained and having a good chat and discussing things. Our hangouts, especially mine, they're a bit more raucous, is that the right word? Where it's a bit like being down the pub with your mates, you know, you get a bit of banter, joking. It can be a little bit, it's not a place for kids, which is mine are set to 18 plus. I know Lewis, if you're watching this Lewis, you keep asking me about joining, but they're no place for under 18s. It's on my channel, Paul at ISM, it's nothing to do with ISM whatsoever, it's my channel. My channel is only called Paul at ISM, so you guys know where I am when I comment. They're just mine, they're uploaded on there, there's hours and hours and hours of footage on my channel, and Sebastian's, which is Dutch Modelling, and they're great fun. We've got a good group of guys, very similar senses of humour, which can be quite dark at times. Great lads, we have a great laugh, and we get plenty of modelling done, talk about everything in the world you can think of. Have a little drink on a Friday, Saturday night together while we're talking, and it's great. It might sound really sad, but once you get in there, if you never get in there with us, come and have a laugh, come and have a chat. Don't be scared, we don't bite much. But I always put the link up on ISM's Facebook page, and you can find me through Google Plus, and you can look, if you subscribe to me, you can see me on live as well. What we did recently started off as a little bit of a gag. I've said about last month about doing that 172 old school build with the enamel paints, etc., hairy brush and all that malarkey. We were chatting away and we said, oh, we should do one in a couple of hours. That idea festered, I turned it into a build, and we did it Saturday just gone. So we did a 2-hour speed build where it had to be a 172, 176, or just for Hendrik, and he didn't even do it in the end, a 180 scale kit. You could use anything you wanted on it, bar an airbrush to paint. No masking tapes and no fillers. Everything else you could do, so you could use acrylics, weathering washes if you wanted, any tools you wanted, everything. You just couldn't spray paint, mask anything, or fill any gaps. And we started at 8 o'clock on Saturday, finished at 10, and it was such a good laugh. We're going to be doing it again, definitely. It was brilliant, it was great fun. There was a lot of swearing, which always is on my hangout, so again, if you do watch them, just bear that in mind. But you can see that on my channel. If you go to Clem's channel, our Aussie friend, Outback Mini Models, Clem actually shortened the 5-hour hangout to just a 2-hour one, so you can see that on there, and it was fantastic. Okay, some of the work didn't turn out great. I've got a little Tempest there, which I'll show in a minute, and okay, I built it in 2 hours, sort of got it decaled in 2 hours, but some of the others, ants, Jesus, literally poured a tub of paint on us at the end to get it finished, and it was great. It was a brilliant laugh, and if you haven't seen the video, go and watch it because it was superb, absolutely brilliant. We plan others in the future, and when I do, I'll put details up on the Facebook page and let you know what's going to happen. What else is there? Nothing really, that's about it. So what we'll do, we'll go to the workbench, have a look at my builds, and I'll see you there. Okay, over on the bench, we're on to my builds. First build up is my Cyber Hobby Panther. It's Panther D, I believe it's an artillery reconnaissance vehicle. It was Cyber Hobby kit, limited run, and I built this for Sebastian and Hendrik's Dangerous Cat Sig, which they posted on ISM, YouTube, etc. Finished it with a couple of days to spare. Thoroughly enjoyed building it. I followed Cohen, Mike Campbell's weathering techniques as opposed to my own for a bit of a change, and this is what I came up with. Very happy with the result. If we get it in the overhead, it's a little bit awkward to get in. I've got my other camera in. I'm going to take it for a walk around because I can't pick it up and upside down because bits start falling off, commanders, etc. So I'm going to pop it back and I'm going to grab the handheld cam. So like I say, 1/35th, followed Mike's weathering guide. So we've got dust effects, chipping, rust streaks, the tools painted, the tracks rusted up, my commander figure, especially proud of him, he turned out quite well. Wired up his headphones, he's got a map on his clipboard, etc. And I'm more than happy how this thing turned out. Magic tracks on the kit, they were a little bit of a nightmare getting on. As you can see, not perfectly straight at the bottom, but if I was going to pose at a die, I would just run it over something to pose the wheels up like that. Not overly weathered. Having this discussion with Lee the other day that weathering, you can weather, you don't have to put any mud on there whatsoever. There's no mud on the exterior. The only mud I've got in this is up underneath the armour plates in there, and in the front, just on the wheel hubs there and there, and a very light sprinkling just underneath the front plate there. So there's no mud on the exterior of the vehicle at all. It's all dust effects. It's been chipped, pin washed. It would have been filtered. I didn't need a filter. We've got the oil dot filtering method to blend everything together. We then added the rust streaks, fuel stains, which you can see on the back if I get there. The rust streaks are all over it, as you can see, running along the likes of, sorry, not very good on the handheld cam. Down there we've got the rust effects on the spare track links, tow cable, damaged shirts and armour on the side. Probably said that wrong, Hendrik will be going mental at me. We did a bit of battle damage at the front. We basically thinned out this front fender here with a Dremel, bent it upwards and bent out the side armour plate as well to replicate it hit something. Like I say, a little bit of dust effects on the front, no mud anywhere. On the back, I got the exhaust effects on the the rust effects on the exhaust. They were also drilled out and the anti-grenade pins were added in there as well. If you can see them, I don't think you can with the light, but they are in there. And again, not really much mud at the bottom, more dust effects building up from the bottom, lightening off at the top. The tracks were airbrushed in, let me think, it's a good point there, I forgot what I did them in now. I think it was Track Primer by MIG, which is like a dark rusty brown colour. They were then dry brushed in Metal Coat Silver, then given a UMP rust wash, a UMP mud wash, dry brushed again to get back any lost detail that we had, and finally we added dust effects to it as well. Then added wear and tear to the teeth. One thing I missed off, and a few of the guys pointed out, especially Mike, was the rubber worn track on the inner edge of the tracks. So that was added with a pencil. I did some oil leaks to the centre hubs, and that's about it really. So very happy with the overall effect. It came out more than better than I thought it would. As I say, the commander, very happy with. I think he turned out great. Sorry about the camera work, I'm not used to being on a handheld cam. More than happy with him. Starting to get the hang of figure painting a little bit now. I'm still an absolute novice at it, but I'm starting to get the hang of it. Facial features are not too bad at, dry brushing, etc. But we're very happy with how he looks, and he looks the part on the cupola on the tank as well. Another thing we did as well, this, because it's a reconnaissance vehicle, it actually has no main gun to it at all. This is all fake. On the real thing, it was a dummy wooden barrel. There was no gun mechanism in here. What that allowed was a mat table in the turret, hence why it's a reconnaissance vehicle. I also believe that the sight was a long range sight as well, and they also had a long range separate sight that had on board as well. I didn't build it with the kit. It came with the kit, but I didn't build it because I didn't want it as part of the kit. So what I did with this, rather than adding your typical chip into the barrel, I don't know if we're going to see it, I added wood effects instead. So we painted underneath wood, a chipping solution on top, and then chipped it off, giving a worn wood effect as such. So the only real armament on this was the MG34 on the ball mounted next to the turret. I think there was an MP40 inside, a flare gun, and the pistol ports on the side, which you can see just there. So like I say, very happy with the overall effect. Definitely one of my best pieces of armour. In fact, I think it is my best piece of armour. I'm very critical of my own work, but even I'm quite impressed by how well it turned out. And it's thanks to Mike. I'll switch us back to the cam now. Thanks to Mike and his techniques that allowed me to do a lot quicker than I normally would, and a lot easier as well. The other thing as well, because of the command version, we've got the star antenna and the stab antennas on there as well. So both of those, ones at the back and the two short, the 2 meter and the 1.4 meter antenna on there. So lovely kit, quite a hard kit to get hold of now. Being Sidebobby, they're a white box, they're a limited run of 1500 kits. Once they reach that, they're done. I've got another very special white box Sidebobby on the way to me soon. It's Whitman's Last Tiger, which I managed to source from Germany. It cost me quite a bit of money, but I know it's a rare kit and I should be landing any day now. And if it does, I'll more than likely review it for the channel. So there's out of the way. So like I say, that was for Sebastian and Hendrik's Dangerous Cat SiG, so that turned out fantastically. Okay, next build up is my Tamiya 148 IL2 Sturmovik. Built this for Cohen's Curse GB. I got the aircraft finished in time, but sadly I didn't get the dio I wanted to do built in time. So the build was done, the original build was done, which is a Sturmovik, and it was a beautiful kit, and I'm more than happy with the way it turned out. The dio is still ongoing, which I'll show you in a second, but the plane turned out great. Subtle weathering, so you got all the my typical fading, bleaching, post shading, all the paintwork. The canopy's just shifted. The canopy this rear canopy should be in the open position. I've just knocked it with my thumb and it needs re-gluing in place, so that's a bit of a pain. So we've added subtle exhaust stains, very subtle gun stains, a lot of very subtle soot effects here and there. We've got the antennas in place, which if I can get my hand around the back, there you go, you can see them both there, using Easy Line. Decals are dead simple, there was hardly anything, there was about 8 in total, which is a nice change on aircraft. As you can see, the blue underneath, you've got the pre-shading, post-shading thrown through, lovely. All the landing gear has been weathered, very subtly, because I have a plan behind me. Very nice kit, and I'm more than happy. A little bit of chipping on the wing walkway. More than happy how this thing turned out. It's a beautiful kit, beautiful aircraft. And if you're looking for a kit to buy, go and get this. Very happy with this. There's more pictures of this on the forum. Beautiful kit, and like I said, it's a beautiful looking aircraft, absolutely stunning, and I'm more than happy with the way that one turned out. So that's the IL2. We've got the dio one going for that one. My camera battery is flashing at me there, so I hope it doesn't die on me. Fingers crossed. This is part of the dio as well. We've got the Russian cargo trucks and fuel drums, which are in the process of being weathered as we speak. A couple more figures, a couple of mechanics figures. I'll show these next month, hopefully I'll have it finished by then. And the little 148 Tamiya, which as you can see isn't glued together, all the wheels fall off, so but it gives you the impression of what it's like. So we've got the cargo truck ready to go. This will have all the barrels and stowage in the back and what have you. I think I showed you all that last month. That's going on a base which is behind me, which is ready to be grass affected, etc. Next one, there's no progress on the F15 like I explained, and this thing's going to be a little bit dusty, but we've got the Corsair. She's all decaled, as you can see, plenty of decals on there, quite hard to get in shot. If you've seen the build video, you'll see where she was painted, a little bit of paint effects underneath, and the next video, which is due out probably over the next week or so, we'll start doing some weathering effects on her. But it's a big bird. I say this every time I pick her up because I am always surprised. Once you get some weathering effects down, a bit of an oil wash, a bit of oil rendering, get it unmasked, and she's done. So one more part there. The prop's been painted as well, as you can see, big old prop. And that's it. That's a stunning bird. Really looking forward to getting that thing done. It'll be a big sigh of relief when she's built. Next up, we got, you heard me talk about the Chawa build before. Well, this is the Academy Tempest I built for it. Built, painted, decaled in 2 hours. As you can see, it's a pile of stinking dog crap, pardon the technical term. Brush painted in Vallejo acrylics. Like I say, 2 hours, didn't do too bad getting it done, I suppose, and it was a fun build. But these will be going in my cabinet because I've got a feeling there'll be a lot more of these builds over the coming months. But like I say, brush painting, took it back to be in the kit. I've got a cracking bit of silver on all the decals where they haven't been laid down properly and what have you, but it was a fun build, and I finished that with 30 seconds of the char was left. Thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it. It looks absolutely shocking. The paintwork is appalling, there's gaps everywhere, but like I say, enjoyable, absolutely brilliant. So much fun. The next build, I'm going to have to grab it because I forgot to grab it before. It's behind me, and we have Tamiya's RAF Mustang 3. Fancied a quick build because I've got a few weeks before the Vietnam GB started. I thought a quick build, Tamiya kit, 2 sprues. I assembled all the fuselage, the wings, all this malarkey over here, which is ready for primer. As you can see, in about an hour on a hangout, and it's just a quick, simple build to keep me interested, keep me entertained while I'm waiting for the GBs to start and while I get some of these videos caught up on as well. So there you go, that's all my builds. Like I say, no progress on the F15. Next month there will be. I'll ensure there's a video done for that. A couple of completed builds, a couple still in progress, and one brand new started one as well, which is going to be great. So thanks for looking, guys. I'll catch you later, and I'll see you on the forums.
Thanks for that, Paul. As you can see, he has had some cracking progress on his builds. I don't know where he finds the time. That is all going to change in about 2 or 3 weeks' time. We all know that, mate. I'm glad we're getting near to the end of the show because I'm starting to flag now, and I really, really need my bed or some headache pills or something to get over this hangover because it is starting to throb. But I'm just going to go through the sponsor section of the show. Obviously, we just want to say thank you to the sponsors each month because without them, we wouldn't have these great prizes for everyone. So big thank you to Sean at S&M Stuff. For all your prizes for the SiGs and everything. Big thank you to John and Mandy at Models Are Go again. It's great support for sponsors from right from the beginning as well. And Tim at Value Kits for supplying our free monthly prize draw kits, cracking kits every single month. Thank you very much, mate, and you guys there. And obviously UMP and Paul and myself with you do UMP products for the competitions as well. So thanks a lot, guys, and I hope you all enjoyed the show. It's not as long as it normally is, and as I say, there may or may not be one next month. It depends how much time we get. If we do one, I'm sure it's just going to be a little short one and everything. So, but until next time, thanks a lot, take care, and see you soon. Ta-da.